Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Jensen and I go by JJ, and I work in the Pathways program as an assistant program manager. And part of my role there is to help with career preparation. And a big part of career preparation is interviews. And so many interviews nowadays are happening on Zoom. So today we are going to troubleshoot a few issues that you may come across when you are navigating Zoom for an interview. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the desktop client for Zoom. You can access this through your Okta account through the Zoom app, and click on it and it may ask you to open Zoom on your desktop, and that is the one method of doing it. Or you can open up the client, and the client is what is on your taskbar there at the bottom. It's an icon, and that is the preferred method for using Zoom. All right, so once you've opened up your desktop client for Zoom, to adjust and check your video and audio settings, you're going to want to look at the settings menu. Here in the settings menu, there's a lot of different options, and we're going to go ahead and start with video. When I click on video, it opens up my video, and I can see it's a little bit off, right? So I'm just going to adjust my camera so it can see most of me. There we are. And now I'm going to look through some of these options here down below. Now, if you do not see yourself in the video camera here, you're going to want to check your video settings. And you can do so by clicking on the drop-down menu, and there may be other cameras listed. You want to go ahead and do your integrated webcam if your computer has a webcam. If not, and you have another camera attached to your computer, you can use that. Just clicking the right one will hopefully bring up your video. Now there's a couple other options here, as you can see: touch up my appearance and adjust for low light. And you can mess with these just to see if there's something that works better for you. See, oh, here we are. Or you can adjust for low light, which brightens you up a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and tone that down a little bit so I look more like myself. And I'm gonna keep that adjust for low light to brighten things up a bit. There's also other settings. You can hide self-view. That's the one I'm going to highlight here today. And that's to take your video away during the conversation. Sometimes that's helpful so you're not distracted by watching yourself talk. So that's an option that you have there. The other thing about the video is noticing your background and also your lighting. So you notice behind me it's a blank white wall, and that's nice because it's free of distractions, but sometimes we don't have that option in our homes. And therefore you can utilize the blur your background effect. So I will show you that here in background and effects. And you can ask to blur your background. And this will just take some of the things out from behind you. Maybe there's a lot of things hanging on the wall that could be distracting, but it is important to be in a space that has minimal distractions and also allows you to be the focus in the conversation. And now we're going to check our audio settings. This is the one that gives folks the most trouble. All right, so two things you can do here. So you can first test your speaker. When I click this, it'll play some sound. You can adjust the volume there, taking it down or taking it up. If you don't hear anything, you can click the drop-down menu and click the speaker you'd like to use. If you're using headphones, which is the preferred method, you'll click there. If not, you'll want to use same as system. But check each one and find the one that you can hear and that works for you. The next thing to do is to test your microphone. Here it'll ask you to record your voice, which can be a little awkward. Here it'll ask you to record your voice, which can be a little awkward. And then you can tell if you are heard through the Zoom meeting. You can adjust your volume. If it's very loud, I'm a loudspeaker, I can adjust that to go down just a little bit. Down here you'll notice that there is a setting for optimized sound here, and it automatically adjusts noise in the background. So this just helps Zoom pick up on your voice and maybe block out a dog barking in the background or some other things that are happening. And during your meeting, it's important for you to have your space set up where there's minimal sound and video distractions. So maybe if you're doing this interview at home, it's helpful to let other folks who live in your house know that you're doing this presentation or interview, and that way they can suppress their noise as best as possible. Going back to general, and then I'm going to click out of this and go ahead and start a meeting. So a couple things can happen when you're starting a meeting. It'll ask you to join the computer audio. You always want to click that so your audio will start going. Down here on the bottom, you'll notice there's a mute and a stop video. Those two things, muting, stopping your video, take your picture away, and take your voice away. And now during the meeting, or if you open up Zoom and you notice again that you're not having any video or sound, you are able to click on these menu buttons, remembering the camera or microphone that you picked in your test, and click that one to make sure your sound is working. And the same with your video. I hope these tips are helpful for you as you are doing your interviews, Zoom presentations, and all the other things that we are now doing online. Thanks for your time today, and have a good day.